cat has been like a roller coaster ride for everybody, right? That knowledge about the cat, and especially the platforms what FCI has created over the last few years, the kind of convention what FCI does, that spread is lesser. So, and being obligate carnivore, the fuel towards the growth of pet food market is, for especially cat, is phenomenal actually.
Honestly, the growth in cat has surprised one and all. In the last 3 to 5 years, the way cat as a category, and more importantly, pet cats as a category, they were from our top 6 cities, top 10 cities. Where cat surprised us again was the next 15 cities were also showing very good momentum on cat. Pieces, cat is not just a one dimension growth engine. It is a triple engine in that sorts, because the premium is also growing, the super premium is also growing, and mainstream and economy is also growing.
So already the segmentation starters appearing now, and you will find a lot of grooming centers which is cat oriented, shops which is only cat oriented, clinics which are only cat oriented.
Category evolution. This is a matter of cat maturity as a category. And once that happens, you will not just see clinics with facilities, you will also see differentiated clinics.
Growing. The year-on-year growth for cat population is nothing less than 18 to 20% right now. Dog might be single digit. So it still works on how much you are bridging the gap. And that's the reason why we work with a lot of organizations like FCI or vet associations and everybody. And it's not only at the pet practitioners, it requires at the breeder levels, pet shop level, college level, everywhere actually. And even in not within our category but across. But services will be a crazy triple down business the way it's going certainly.
In cat, the contributions are very different. Dry and wet is roughly equal as far as contribution is concerned, because
frankly what FCI is doing and where KCI missed the bus, let's understand this. A lot of clubs came across the country within cities. Hyderabad have couple of, Bangalore has couple of, and dog shows are happening. A lot of buzz happens around the dog show days, couple of days back. You'll get 400 entries and all those things. But the year-long engagement, what through the conventions, I think what FCI is doing, through the breed registration program what FCI is doing, that completely got missed out in KCI work or pet parents. If we still start that also, stay more focused on more conventions, more reach out to people, which will help everybody from top to down.
Thank you, FCI, and thank you for kind introduction. On the onset, we would like to thank FCI and Saki for organizing this discussion on the cat care market in India. It wouldn't have been possible had FCI not worked relentlessly, bringing together cat parents, breeders, cat fraternity across India. They have been working towards it and doing it very methodically over 9 years. And kudos to them. Second, when we look at the market, we have products meant for pets, which are cats and dogs both. And those products are made for keeping in mind specific requirements and the needs of the pets. But as a company, how are we communicating? How are we telling people and the pet parents the benefits, the importance of using those products? Here we come to the point of catalytic conversion and also the uses of products that's meant for pets. So to discuss some of these questions as well as more, we have esteemed panelists in the stage today. We have Dr. Shashank, everybody knows, CEO Drools Pet Food Private Limited. And we have a very interesting news that came in the paper and came in the media yesterday that Nestle Switzerland has invested in Drools Pet Food Private Limited in India, which is a very good thing. And with us, we have Nitin Jain, a seasoned industry veteran, and it comes with the ton of experience behind him. And now he's heading as a Chief Operating Officer for the Godrej Petcare division. And they have, as he said in an introduction recently, that they have launched Godrej Ninja, which is a dry pet food, which I think they have launched first in Tamil Nadu, and slowly they're going to spread across India. So right with this, let's get into some discussion. So I think first question to Shashank. So doctor, looking at the cat category, right? Uh, there has been, everybody's talking about the growth in the cat industry, cat population, as well as the calorie conversion. What does your number say when you do business?
See, cat has been like a roller coaster ride for everybody, right? And then all the brands, all the companies are facing the same growth for the cats. And largely this growth is fueled by a couple of factors. One obviously is that we all post-COVID wants to have a pet, but the pet which require less of maintenance, not only as per resource of money, but time as well. Dog as a pet requires you more time, whereas cat is a more independent animal. But as a pet, it's very easy to maintain comparatively to a dog, which requires a walking, a grooming, and cats are very, very independent of themselves. Second aspect for a food company is cat is an obligate carnivore. So the biggest challenge for a countries like India, the developing nations who are just trying to stand on their feet in terms of pet care market is calorie conversion. Especially for dogs, if you see the Indian national average is less than 7-8% right now. So out of 100 dogs, 7 or 8 dogs only eat pet food because they're easy to maintain as well as on a human food, whatever we consume, be it vegetarian or non-vegetarian as well. But cat being an obligate carnivore needs a protein source from the meat, which is not easy to cook every day for any family, right? So their pet food comes as a very rescue to the pet parents. They consume little less quantity, pocket friendly. So that makes them easy to maintain on packaged food, which is helping to convert the calorie conversion is close to around 30%. The other aspect is that knowledge about the cat, and especially the platforms what FCI has created over the last few years, where people are not only like you just go and you will not find any platform similar to FCI for dogs right now. Do we have a lot of associations and kennel clubs and all? But apart from the shows, the kind of convention what FCI does, that spread is lesser. So the interest is high. People want to have a pet as cat. Somebody is there who is trying to be an enabler. We're trying to make them knowledge gap reduce as much as possible. And being obligate carnivore, the fuel towards the growth of pet food market is, for especially cat, is phenomenal actually.
Great. Thank you, sister. Now, in the industry, in the public forum, we have not been often talking about the breeding, having quality kittens or the pups, right? Which I think FCI is doing an excellent job in terms of educating and the awareness to the breeders and also connecting people so that you can acquire and get better quality, the kittens for your homes. And that helps in terms of the usage of product and the access to the market. Now, coming to Nitin, we'll go back to little to your own organization now. So what has been your learning in the cat category in terms of, leading the Whiskers and the Siva? So tell us about your understanding of the market.
Thank you so much, Binoy, for asking that question. And first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I think it's after a long time that I have come back to this forum. In fact, when we started, I remember in Vashi, that was the first time. So it's great coming back to this. And like Shashank said, I echo the sentiments around cat. Honestly, the growth in cat has surprised one and all. In the last 3 to 5 years, the way cat as a category, and more importantly, pet cats as a category. There were ferals, there were, stray cats that were there. But the way they have come into the entire category has been a phenomenal success. The other piece, again, drawing from my previous organization and what we used to do, we are very, pet food as a category is very metrocentric, right? We look at top 6 cities and a lot of business comes from our top 6 cities, top 10 cities. Where cat surprised us again was the next 15 cities were also showing very good momentum on cat. Whether it's your Ahmedabads and Indores of the world, they started sort of coming very close to the bigger cities as far as contribution is concerned. So I think cat has been like he said, roller coaster. It has been the fuel in which the category right now is growing on and dwelling upon, because dog for certain reasons has been much slower than cat. And I think both on the top side, where the calorie conversion is so high, I think there are two ways to look at it. There is a value contribution to business, and then there is a volume contribution to business. CAT being a higher realization, the value contribution has become very significantly higher in the last 3 to 5 years. So I think it has become a very, very serious sort of contributor, which was not the case 5 years before. And the other good piece is CAT is not just a one dimension growth engine. It is a triple engine in that sorts, because the premium is also growing, the super premium is also growing, and mainstream and economy is also growing. So which means you are recruiting pet parents across the ladder, across the sort of categories, across the value props. You are recruiting consumers in India. So I think it leads to a sustainable growth in CAT is what I would probably close on.
Great. So, when we come to the point of having more animals like the cat, populations growing, besides the food, also the things like services like the veterinary care is required. How equipped are we to talk about and treat veterinary, cats from the veterinary point of view, also talking about addressing their needs in terms of grooming? Doctor, I think, would be the right person to start.
See, India, if you largely see the vet school, and Dr. Thakur is also sitting here, he can say that largely if it comes on pets, just go maybe 7-8 years back and see, if you ask somebody what pet you have, the person will directly say, my pet name is Tommy. The thought was very clear, that's dog is a pet, right? Cat, as I said, was more of strays, moving out, coming in and all. Never as an indoor cat was a concept of having a pet. So as per the market, the vets also started equipping themselves with the knowledge of dog as a treatment. Started with livestock first, then pet as a dog came. Now it's coming towards cats, and that's why you see a lot of associations across the country are doing a lot of hands-on training programs. But I'll say it's just the beginning right now. Even if you see a vet who is doing an ABC program or a sterilization program, he might be doing 10 in dogs, 1 in cat, right? So still the knowledge, understanding, as the market demands, people change. But I'll say this journey has just begun. You see, I was in an event this afternoon at PPAM, and they had a hands-on training program in Malaysia, I think last year, where they did a complete 2-day sessions on cat management, cat treatments and all. So people are understanding, vets are understanding the demands, and as more and more cat pet parents will come into the clinics, they will expect a lot of good treatment and therapeutics products which can train them. As far as grooming is concerned, still very dog heavy, because dogs require more of grooming every 2 weeks or a 4 weeks time. Cats are more clean as animals. They try to maintain their cleanliness more than themselves. But if you go to Dubai, because we export to Dubai, and we find there cats, nail spas, cats, nail, and a lot of things around cats there. Saudi, same story. So I think that will also catch up very fast in India, where you'll find, like last week we inaugurated Dr. Yatiraj Clinic. So one section is dog, which is called as a Lakeside Pet Clinic. The other section was Yaku Cat Clinic. So already the segmentation starters appearing now, and you will find a lot of grooming centers which is cat oriented, shops which is only cat oriented, clinics which are only cat oriented. So I think just the beginning, but the way numbers for cats are speaking, I see next year when we are talking like this at this forum, we'll find at least 100 plus only cat clinics. There might be a company which is building business only on cat food also. That's the way the future is.
Sure. Thank you, doctor. So Nitin, looking at the cat and the dog, these are two different animals altogether, right? Even the veterinarians to treat a cat and the dog together in the same place may not be easy or may not be possible, So given that scenario and also the size of the clinic, of course they're increasing, there are multi-speciality hospitals coming up, but the number of the clinics are small, number of clinics are not that large. So how do we really treat cats and dogs separately? Because the smell and other things are genuine concern.
I think Dr. Shashank is better equipped to answer that question, but I will still sort of, I'll just continue what Shashank was saying, for the previous question. I think this is a matter of category evolution. This is a matter of cat maturity as a category. And once that happens, you will not just see clinics with facilities, you will also see differentiated clinics for cats and dogs separately. I think we are just scratching the surface, both for cat and even for dog. So imagine cat is a third of dog right now, and we are still scratching the surface even for dogs. So I think it is more about the maturity of the category, and when you have and there is a demand, then a lot of services will follow. It is a matter of having a demand, then supply will sort of come up to terms with it. The other piece, which is more on the need for grooming, I think if you see the dynamics, the long-haired cats, right, are increasing in contribution. Even in dogs, you are seeing more and more small dogs, Shih Tzus and Poodles, which require a lot more grooming than, say, their elder cousins or their, bigger cousins. So I think the industry for grooming is set for a big sort of I would say, a positive turnaround. And even for cats and dogs, the clinics and the facilities will come up as the need grows. But maybe, Doctor, you...
Certainly what you're saying, the future next, like I was talking to somebody regarding this, when you talk to this PE guys and all, so what is the size of industry? A lot of assumptions on the numbers is there, like, is it 2 billion? They have, how somebody says 23 billion and all these numbers. So please don't don't jump on some things which are in the articles and all. There are a lot of stories behind it. But if you see still if you divide the entire category into services and products, services are still unorganized, quite big, which is getting shaped up in terms of, we never had an organized dog walking services or company, which is now organized as a company. There are 10 drivers in the society doing dog walking was not an organized category, right? But we see these companies now coming up, well funded also, showing good. I was talking to somebody from IIT Kanpur, setting up a dog training center, dog boarding center, well funded by people like early stage VC funds and all. So services has a huge future. Now imagine cats, the way they are growing, the year-on-year growth for cat population is nothing less than 18 to 20% right now. Dog might be single digit. So the more of number of cats. See why India is a very prospect pet category atom bomb right now. Reason being, the highest number of mouths to feed are in India. 31 million cared pets. 65 million strays. That's the number. I was talking to Mission Rabies, and they're looking to do something in India, and they were talking about it, and they say the number can be 85 million also for the strays. See, the number of mouths is here. The problem, calorie conversion. The problem is like, we don't have many of the platforms where we engage people to understand why knowledge is important. So I push my team a lot in not selling products, but selling knowledge and bridge that gap. This industry still works on how much you are bridging the gap. And that's the reason why we work with a lot of organizations like FCI or vet associations and everybody. And it's not only at the pet practitioners, it requires at the breeder levels, pet shop level, college level, everywhere actually. And even in not within our category, but across. But services will be a crazy triple down business the way it's going in it, certainly.
Great, thank you. Now, let's go to the Nitin now in terms of the demographic. So, the initial understanding and the mindset that we had was it is driven by the community demographic that is set in the particular area. But that's also changing, right? So ease of having cat and also the people's mind, as you said, is shifting towards the smaller dogs and so on. So that is also kind of changing the demographic of the pet and the cat populations. So when you look at the products that you have been dealing earlier, which are the main distribution area which was selling the most, and what kind of products? Is it wet, dry, or the treats?
No, I think let me start with the first part of your question on demographics. India is a very young country, right? The average age is less than 30, and that it has its own share of demographic dividends that we will get in the next 10 years, which would mean a lot of nuclear families, which would mean a lot of people who prefer not to have kids, who do not or do not opt to marry. I think there are things that will happen which will aid pet adoption, right? So I think demographics is not just about ethnicity, but there are various other demographic changes that will lead to higher pet adoption. Coming to the products per se, I think in cat, specifically in cat, I think unlike dog, which has started from dog dry and sequentially you had vet and then treats started growing in In cat, the contributions are very different. Dry and wet is roughly equal as far as contribution is concerned, because given the cat requirement, a wet pouch can be sufficient for one-time meal, unlike in dogs. So I think the contributions for dry and wet is very different. Like I said, both on the super premium side, mainstream side, and economy side. But this part of dry and wet contribution remains the same, and you have consumers at every level who are willing to sort of come in the category directly. This is not necessarily an upgrade route that you recruit them in mainstream, then premiumize them. People will directly come into some of the categories given the calorie conversion, which is closer to 30%, and the awareness that, word of mouth that gets created due to 30% calorie conversion, I think will aid as far as the products are concerned. But two big pieces, the recruitment happens at all levels in CAT, and all partitions are therefore poised to grow.
So if you look at it, say north, south, east, west, and central, which were the strongest reason?
Yeah. No, I think some of them are very predictable, and all of you who are in this category would know. Typically west and south would be the big regions, and within that, if you see Bombay, Pune, Goa, and then Bangalore, would be the big, and of course, Mumbai and Mumbai, Pune is definitely part of it. I think these would be the top 6 contributing cities, and the beauty is that they started it. It did not end with these 6 or 7 cities. The metro started catching up. Kolkata was a surprise addition in as far as CAT contribution is concerned. But I think what surprised us, like I said earlier, was some of the lesser cities also sort of doing well on CAT. This could be ethnicity-led, this could be various other reasons. But, by and large, the top 5 cities that I said, and coupled with some more cities that sort of led the growth for CAT as a category.
So, doctor, coming back to doctor, what's your kind of a geography, the distributions? If you talk about, we have already touched upon the metro cities. So if you talk about the tier 2, tier 3 cities, Eastern India, say hinterland of UP, which are the cities which surprises you and the fastest growing?
We feel CAT is everywhere now, right? You can talk to Sakib sir and I spoke to him. I said, why would you do anything in Guwahati or Aizawl actually, right? And we did an event in Guwahati, I suppose, right? And this year the plan is to go to maybe Aizawl or Shillong as well, right? So, and it surprised all of us, including FCI as well, that so many CAT parents were there in Guwahati as well. Go to UP, even go to Jharkhand type of a city also, you'll find a lot of CAT parents are there. See, it's not about CAT parents are there. They are. I have a very great experience. I was in a store in, the place called Jamshedpur, right? And a lady came, and she asked for her, and she came in burqa. So east, if you go, it's very less pet ownership is there. Cat again is less, and she asked for a dog food, right? So I asked her, why you want to dog food? Do you have a dog or a cat? Which breed? She said, no, I have a cat, but I don't have the cat food is still expensive, right? I can't afford to feed. But they want to feed. Calorie conversion is there actually. So cat market is across India now. What it started with Pune, Bombay, Kerala, Goa, now it's spreading to Meerut, Saharanpur, Lucknow, Patna. Any companies will have their decent contribution coming from the cat portfolio in those regions also. So if we feel that there's no cat or our cat is, the only thing in favor of dog right now is the population is with them. So that's going also slowly down, and you don't see any, I hope many would have not seen a Rottweiler puppy in last 6 months also or a 1 year also, right? So the new dogs are also cats actually, right?
So, in the dog, KCI, the Feline Club of India, has been working for a long time. But the learning from the cat, and also from the case FCI, looking at the way the cat population are picked up, calorie conversion, which is a big challenge in the dogs especially. What can we learn things or two and do better, if not at the level of the clubs and so on, at the company level? What can we do?
So very, very frankly, what FCI is doing and where KCI missed the bus, let's understand this. A lot of clubs came across the country, within cities. Hyderabad have couple of, Bangalore has couple of, and dog shows are happening. A lot of buzz happens around the dog show days, couple of days back. You'll get 400 entries and all those things. But the year-long engagement, through the conventions, I think what FCI is doing, through the breed registration program what FCI is doing. That completely got missed out in KCI work or pet parents. If we still start that also, the way the small breeds are coming in, the best part that people don't keep one small breed of dog also. They have 2 or 3 also at their homes. But that knowledge gap has to begin. Our industry for next 10 years still. See, Colgate might be, we are today where Colgate was 30 years back, where dentists used to work and meet and convince people to buy toothpaste, right? India will never become dentist what Colgate is today. We will need lot of influencers who can go and train them on this knowledge gap. Because we're not talking about humans here, we're talking about other species at all. So let's work on those sides. Let FCI stay more focused on more conventions, more reach out to people, which will help everybody from top to down.
Nitin, your take on the companies pitching in and the kind of educating pet parents and the kind of helping in calorie conversions, understanding and awareness.
No, I think this has to be an ecosystem effort. This cannot be a one company effort. This cannot be a one sort of a, this kind of an event kind of an effort. It requires a lot of, people coming together in this category, in this ecosystem to make, necessary changes or at least the speed of the change. I think the brands have their role cut out. I think the brands that enter into this category have to come with the mindset of category creation. I think we are not of the size as far as this category is concerned where you can just come, gain share from someone else and look to settle down with that. I think that stage would be at least 15 to 20 years away. We are right now in the category building phase. The beauty is this category can absorb at least 2 or 3 more players who are sincere enough to build this category. So I think the role for any new entrant in this category is category creation, building this category, either getting more adoptions or working towards calorie conversion. I think these are the 2 vectors for growth as far as this category is concerned. And each brand has to play their role, whether it is dog or cat.
Thank you both of you for your time, and I think a positive time. We will not stand between you and your awards. That's more glamorous. And if you have any questions, 1 or 2, we can take questions. Otherwise, you can engage with the experts offsite.